We all love free stuff, right? Especially when you're just getting a new website off the ground. But here's the thing. When we're talking about your domain name, your address on the internet, can free end up costing you a whole lot more in the long run? Let's dig in and find out what's really going on with these so-called free domains.
So, you've got this amazing idea. You're fired up, the content is practically writing itself, and then, bam, you hit that first hurdle, paying for a domain name. It can feel like a total roadblock, right? Well, if your budget is exactly $0, trust me, you are not alone. So let's look at how you can actually get online without opening your wallet.
I mean, let's be real. The word free is just magic. It's so powerful. And when you're pouring everything into a new project, the idea of kicking things off without any upfront cost, that's not just nice to have. For a lot of us, it feels absolutely essential. And it's about more than just saving, 10 or 15 bucks. Nailing down a domain for free feels like your first big win. It's this awesome psychological boost, right? It lets you just forget about the money for a minute and focus on the important stuff, like actually creating amazing things for your new site. Okay, so how do you actually do it? Let's get down to brass tacks. It turns out there are 4 totally legitimate ways to get a domain name without paying a dime, and we're going to break down every single one of them, starting right now.
All right, so here are the 4 main paths we're going to explore. First, getting one with your web hosting. Second, as part of a deal with website builders. Third, you can get them straight from some domain registrars. And fourth, there are some pretty cool education programs out there. Let's see how each of these works.
Okay, first up is the one you've probably seen a million times. You're signing up for web hosting, which, you need anyway to actually put your website somewhere, and companies like Hostinger or Bluehost will just throw in a free domain for the first year. It's a really tempting all-in-one deal.
And it's a super similar deal with website builders. Think Wix or Squarespace. If you're looking for that easy drag-and-drop experience to build your site, chances are if you sign up for an annual plan, they'll toss in a free custom domain for year 1. It's all about making it super simple and convenient.
All right, now what about the most direct route? No hosting, no builder, just the domain. Well, there are registrars out there, like Freenom, that offer totally free domains. But, and this is a big but, there's always a catch, isn't there? These domains come with some, let's say, unusual extensions like .tk or .ml. And trust me, that little bit at the end of your address matters way more than you might think.
And last but not least, this one is a really cool perk specifically for students. If you're in school, programs like the one from Namecheap are literally designed to help you out. They give you a free domain, often something like a .me, which is just perfect for a class project or building that first online portfolio to show off to future employers.
So there you go. 4 pretty solid ways to get a domain name without spending any money. It kind of sounds too good to be true, right? And that, of course, brings us to the million-dollar question. Is free really free?
And this is where we have to put on our detective hats and look a little closer. Because now, we're going to unpack all the hidden stuff. The risks, the fine print, the major limitations that are often hiding behind that shiny $0 price tag. This is the other side of the story.
So what are we talking about here? Well, there are 5 big ones to watch out for. First, you might have way less control and functionality. Second, it can seriously damage your professional look. Third, there are some pretty serious security risks involved. Fourth, good luck getting any support when things go wrong. And fifth, the one everyone worries about, surprise hidden costs.
And this really gets to the heart of it. Using one of these free domains can lead to all these hidden problems that, in the long run, can really hurt your website's professionalism and just how well it works. It's that classic trap, right? A little bit of savings now could lead to a whole lot of headaches later.
Okay, check this out. This side-by-side really lays it all out. With a free domain, you're looking at things like limited control, and let's face it, it can look a bit unprofessional. But with a paid domain, you get full ownership, you build trust, you have better security. I mean, when you see it all laid out like this, the choice becomes pretty stark, doesn't it? This is so important. That little extension at the end of your address, the .com, the .org, whatever, it sends a huge signal. Before anyone even gets to your website, seeing a weird extension like .tk can make them think, is this legit? It's like the curb appeal for your online home. A classic .com just feels more trustworthy. It's your first impression, and you only get one.
And hey, remember those great deals? Free for the first year? Well, that first year goes by fast. The clock is ticking. After that honeymoon period is over, you're going to have to start paying a renewal fee. And that could be anywhere from $1 to $8, maybe even more. So free really just means free for a limited time only.
Okay, we've seen the good, and we've definitely seen the bad and the ugly. So that brings us to the big finale, the final verdict. When, if ever, should you actually use a free domain? Let's figure it out.
This chart makes it super clear. Building a website for your business? Absolutely not. Credibility and security are just non-negotiable. What about a personal blog or a hobby site? Maybe. It's acceptable if you have literally zero budget, but you have to go in with your eyes open to the risks. But for a student project or just a temporary site to test something out, yes, that is the perfect place for a free domain. It's a great low-risk way to learn.
So, if there's one thing to remember from all this, it's this. A free domain is a tool. And, like any tool, it's meant for a specific job. It's perfect for short-term, non-commercial stuff, like a school project. But for anything you're serious about, anything long-term or professional, a paid domain isn't an expense. It's one of the most important first investments you can make in your brand.
Which really leaves us with one final question, and it's one you have to ask yourself. You can get a standard .com domain for, maybe $15 a year? So, is saving that $15 for just 1 year really worth risking your brand's reputation, your site's security, and its whole future? When you think about it that way, you start to see the real cost of free.